Today we are going to be learning about rounding, but before we do, let's figure out what rounding is. Rounding is a way to change a number to a shorter number that is close to the original number. And as we begin, you will be able to see exactly what that means. So today we are going to be rounding to the nearest 10. But before we do so, let's look at some numbers. If we are going to round a number up, we're going to look at the numbers 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. But we only care about these numbers if they are in the ones place. If you see any of these numbers in the ones place, that tells me to round up to the next number. But if I see a number such as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that tells me to round down and that my number in the tens place is going to stay the same. Let's start out with our number 57. 57 is between which two numbers?
50 and 60.
Very good. It is between 50 and 60. And if I plot 57 on a number line, it's going to be right here. Well, right away, before I even start my rounding process, I can tell that 57 is a lot closer to 60 than it is to 50. So when I'm looking at the number 57, when we're rounding to the tens place, the number that stands out to me the most is this 7 in the ones place. Because remember I told you before, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tells me to round up to the next number. Well, this number in the ones place is a 7. So that tells me I need to round up to the nearest 10. So 57, this 7 is going to change this 5 into a 6, and we're going to change this 7 into a 0. So 57 rounded to the nearest 10 is 60. So in the number 63, again, I am looking in the ones place. I have a 3. I'm going to go back to which numbers that I used to round down, and 3 tells me to round down. So that means that this number in the tens place is going to remain the same. So 63 rounded to the nearest 10 is going to be 60. Let's try another example. Say I have the number 45. If I look on my number line, 45 is between what two numbers?
40 and 50.
40 and 50. So I'm going to plot my number 45. Although 45 is in the middle, remember my rounding up starts at 5. So this number is going to round up and it's going to go to 50. When I look at the 5 here in the ones place, because it's on the round up list, this 5 tells this 4 to round up to 5, and this 5 is going to be a 0. So 45 rounded to the nearest 10 is 50. Now let's try an example using 3 digits instead of 2 digits. Say I have the number 123. Remember, this is the ones place, this is the tens place, and this is the hundreds place. But when we're rounding to the nearest 10, we are still only concerned with the ones place because the hundreds place is not going to change, okay? So if I have the number 123, what number does that come between on the number line?
120 and 130.
Very good. 120 and 130. And if I plot 123, it's going to be right here. So right away, I can see 123 is closer to 120. Now let's look here. The 3 is on the round down list, which tells me that this number stays the same. So now 123 rounded to the nearest 10 is going to be 120.